we're talking about the Alligator People from 1959. This is a part of a series of very low-budget black and white science fiction horror films shot for Fox by the producer Robert L. Lippert, who's I kind of want, maybe this is just me, but I feel like he's been forgotten compared to so many other B-movie producers.
I was not familiar with him. I don't think I had ever heard of him. Yeah, so he's not like a Roger Corman or William Castle, certainly.
No, but he made almost the same amount of movies as those guys. He produced
Interesting.
Well over 100. How many films is he actually credited with? His Wikipedia is insane, because if you go to his Wikipedia page, it is divided up between all the different companies and sub-companies that he worked under not worked under, but owned throughout the years. He's credited with only 52 films producing on IMDb, but that's not even counting all the other films that his company just made over the years under his supervision. So if you look at his Wikipedia page, it has, I've not gone through and counted, but it has to be hundreds. I know some of the ones you might know.
Looks like it, yeah.
Lost Continent. He might have also done King Dinosaur, too. The first Roger Corman film, actually, was for Robert Lippert, Monster from the Ocean Floor.
Okay. Oh, Rocket Ship XM? That's a Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah, Rocket Ship XM, Radar Secret Service. That's kind of how I knew about him, was because his name popped up on a number of different Mystery Science Theater movies. But he also gave people like Sam Fuller their first start. He produced Sam Fuller's first 3 movies, I Shot Jesse James, Baron of Arizona, and The Great Steel Helmet. His most well-known, so a lot of B movies, in case you couldn't tell. His most well-known movie, though, was The Fly from 1958. Also done under a deal for Fox, but shot in color.
Beautiful color. That is a beautiful movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't really know the level of his involvement in it. I think Robert Lippert, for me, has always been one of those guys who's like, this is definitely a subject for further research. He has so many kinds of films. He had his fingers in so many different parts of film history, but none of them stick out or are as punchy in the same way of a Roger Corman type.
So The Fly is a movie that we've covered on this podcast. I enjoy that movie quite a bit. And The Fly, it's interesting because that's not really a B movie. You know, it's a little schlocky and it's dated because it's a, 50s sci-fi, but it's in color. It has real actors in it. It's a real professional, well-made movie. But... well, no, when I went to purchase The Alligator People on DVD, I found on Amazon a collection of 4 films, studio classics of 75 years of 20th Century Fox. This is clearly a Canadian DVD release because it's got everything in English and French, like the film descriptions.
Yeah, I know those.
In the background. But the 4 films are, really making me question the use of the word classics here. But there's The Alligator People, The Cabinet of Caligari, which I guess is a remake of the classic silent movie.
Yeah, it was an early 60s one, I think.
And then, the 62, and then The Fly, and then House of the Damned, which I also don't think I've ever heard of. So, yeah, I bought this for The Alligator People, but, I love The Fly, so I'll watch that movie, and I'll have to check out the other 2, I guess.
Yeah, and House of the Damned, which I'm looking it up right now just because it's Maury Dexter. I think it has to be another Fox. Yeah, it is another Robert Lippert production.
I assume these all aren't, once you mentioned that The Fly was, which I wouldn't have known that was, but yeah, I assume they're probably all...
Well, The Fly is a very professional-looking movie. It's a very colorful and memorable movie. And you said, so it's not quite a B picture the way you described it. The Alligator People is a for sure B film because it was produced to play on a double bill as the B picture to Return of the Fly.